Greetings viewers, and welcome to sort of the first of a tiny series of videos. There's only going to be 3 of these videos, and in these 3 videos I'm going to be talking about the possible locations, all of them, that I can think of, for the free event legendaries in Pokemon X and Y. In today's video we're looking at Diancie, but obviously in the next video we'll look at Volcanion, and then after that Hooper. The reason I've done 3 videos, or 1 video on each, is because I feel like, you know, I put them all in one video a bit cramped, so I'd rather discuss them separately than put them in one video. Anyway, so first we have Diancie. Now, basically I'm just going to be going through every single location I can think of and giving my opinions / thoughts on them, okay? So the first one for Diancie is Reflection Cave, the Alakazite spot. Now, in Reflection Cave you can find the Alakazite to get Mega Alakazam, obviously only at certain times in the evening, etc. And basically what the area you get it from is basically, there's a shaft of light coming down, and that's it. There's nothing else. There's just a shaft of light, and obviously the Alakazite is then behind it, but that's it. There's nothing else to do with the area at all, and it's actually quite out of the way. It's like sort of towards the side, you know, not in the middle of the cave or whatever. So my thinking is, if it was a Reflection Cave for the Alakazite spot, you might get an event item, for example. Since it's Diancie and Diancie is based on a diamond, it could be a diamond. You might get given a diamond, and then that, you know, sort of launches the event, I guess you could say, when you go to the Alakazite spot. Is my phone going off? Sorry. So yes, so you know, go in there, as you reach the Alakazite spots or the area around there, the diamond activates, sort of goes out in the party, and then might combine with the Carbinks in the area to form Diancie, or something to that nature. You know, it could be something like that. There's so many different possibilities to that sort of, you know, what could happen, whether it could summon Diancie, whether Carbinks could come together to form them, or something along those lines. Really, the Carbink Diancie mystery or theory mystery I've already covered in the previous video, so you can go and watch that if you wish. The second location I thought of is just Reflection Cave in another spot. Now, I've talked about several times about the possibility of a hive theory for Diancie, where Diancie is the queen of all Carbinks, and so she's like, for example, sort of the queen of them. You know, she lives in Reflection Cave, and all the Carbinks sort of protect her, and they're her drones, etc. So you could possibly get another item. I don't quite know what it would be. Maybe another diamond. And when you go to Reflection Cave to a certain area, it's going to also link with the Alakazite spot, to be honest. It like opens up a new doorway into a new part of the cave, so a wall breaks down, or some Carbinks sort of rush out, and the wall falls apart or something like that, and you know, get some sort of, I don't know exactly what you call it, but something along those lines. So not necessarily an Alakazite spot, but it could be anywhere in Reflection Cave. So it could be it could be different for every person. That would be interesting. Like, it doesn't always have to be the same, you know, same location every time for every single person. So you can have like a randomly generated location, and you just have to run around in Reflection Cave to actually find it. Now, the next area I thought of was the Chamber of Emptiness. I haven't got high hopes for Diancie being here, because I'm going to focus more on it, Hooper being in this one. But the Chamber of Emptiness is basically, that's where you obtain the Morolite. I think it's the Morolite, or Benetite. That's Benetite. And that's it, nothing else, and it's really out of the way. You have to go all the way down from, I think it's Route 21, all the way down through waterfalls and stuff like that to reach the Chamber of Emptiness, and all you do is go and get a Mega Stone, and that's it. There's nothing else in that chamber. So Diancie could possibly appear in there, but I'd say it's less likely than Reflection Cave. Another cave I have listed here is Glittering Cave. Now, Glittering Cave is the one down near sort of the fossil places and etc. and stuff like that. And I think it could, glittering to do with jewels and diamonds and such. Diancie is based on a diamond and stuff like that. So there's a very big possibility that, well, not very big possibility, but it's a possibility nonetheless that, you know, they could link it there. So you could again have a diamond as an event item, and then when you enter into Glittering Cave, you know, you see Diancie in the distance. Maybe you have to like chase her, or he, sorry. You have to like go down all the little pathways going off the main path to actually sort of find Diancie in one of the dead ends, or sort of trap it, or some sort of puzzle you have to do there, because nothing much happens in Glittering Cave. Once you go through and you do the Team Flare stuff to begin with, or the only reason for you to go back there is to get the fossils at the end in the extra bit of the cave. But I think if Diancie did end up in Glittering Cave, it would be in the first section, like the dark tunnels and such, not the second section. So that's sort of another of those options. Then, as I mentioned sort of in previous videos, is the Anistar sundial. Now, the sort of colour scheme looks very similar to Diancie with the jewels, and we were talking maybe in previous videos something about the treasure being at the Anistar sundial's tip, so possibly maybe if you take a diamond or another sort of item back to Anistar Anistar sundial and you sort of activate it there, it might, for example, shine, or the shadow for Anistar sundial might actually appear, and you have to follow it to find the treasure, or something of that effect. There's so many different possibilities for that section there. And then sort of these last three are sort of generic ones that are going to be for all three of these event legendaries. First one is a Kuroe Town train. There is a train in Kuroe Town, but it doesn't do anything. It's just a train station. Maybe you get an event item that's a ticket, and you go up there, and there's a sort of a ticket conductor, and you speak to him, and the train comes and takes you deep into the mountains, because that's obviously where it's sort of positioned. It takes you deep into the mountains, where maybe Diancie is hidden away in very deep in the mountains, because obviously diamonds are created under pressure over millions of years. So obviously that would link in with being deep in the mountains, for example. Then there's the Lumiose or Killude TMV. I'm not even sure what that stands for, but that could also lead you to the mountains. It's another option, but I think the Kuroe Town train would be more likely if they were to go that route. And if it did take you to the mountains indeed, then that would link in with the Lumiose press editor theory, where she's gone to sort of find the legendary or mythical Pokemon in the mountains. So that could be Diancie, who knows? Then the final generic one I've got here is the power plant. There are 4 extra power plants, as well as the power plant you do in the storyline. There are 4 other ones. I'm going to be mentioning these in loads more videos in the future. There are 4 free ones. Maybe it's in one of them. Maybe there's an event for each power plant. It could be. It's a possibility. It could be indeed. So which one would it be? There's 4 different ones. There's sort of a futuristic looking one. There's a wind one with turbines. There's one with lava, and then there's one with just sort of steam. It could really be it could be in the magma one, the lava one, because again, pressure, heat, etc. could link to that. It could also be in the steam one, because steam might signify there being pressure in the rocks and stuff like that. The wind one is less likely, and the futuristic ones, again, it is a possibility there because of the shiny futuristic stuff. It sort of might link in with the crystal. Maybe the crystal could be used to do something, create power or something like that, and Team Flare wants to come back and use that power to destroy the region again. There's a possibility there again. Okay guys, so I think that's all the different theories and locations I have for Diancie. There's Reflection Cave, the Alakazam spot, just anywhere in Reflection Cave, Chamber of Emptiness, Glittering Cave, Anistar sundial, Kuroe Town train, Lumiose or Killude City TMV, and the power plant. Which one of these do you think is most likely, guys? Tell me in the comment section below, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Goodbye.